Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show 1202nd, a new episode. I'm Professor Parvez, welcoming you all to this program. And this program actually powered by Independent Perception and Research of Bangladesh. And you know that Independent Perception and Research have always presented a, a wonderful educational show, and this is an expert talk show. And in this program, our expert will talk about different kinds of issue and facts related to the society and ethics, morality, and education, behavior, and overall the SDGs goal. So each and every person feel free, join with us. Independent Perception Research Hub is an educational research and consultation center for the talent researcher and education scholar for their perception on different issues and facts. The main goal of IPRH is to enlighten the independent perception of individual thoughts by knowledge sharing, because IPRH always believes that knowledge is power. Today we have the most talented personality, Mehjabin Prodhan Faiza from Bangladesh with us. She is actually an expert. And before I just welcoming her on screen, I just say a little bit about her, that she is the DMD HERNET TV. She is actually the entrepreneur, author, social wellness thinker, think tank, speaker, columnist, observer, and always working with different kinds of social work and research. So let's welcome our today's expert, Mehjabin Prodhan Faiza. So, hello Mehjabin, how are you?
Thank
Welcome to our show, and it is our great pleasure that you are one of our rising star, and you are a talent researcher from Bangladesh today in our show, and we are feeling very much honored. So I just said the yes, welcoming to our show, and how are you, and how can you spend your day now? Your day now, please. The floor is yours.
First of all, thank you so very much, Professor Parvez, for inviting me in this amazing platform and this wonderful talk show. And that nowadays, how I'm spending my time is on research for my second book, and the name of the book is like religiously political or politically religious. So let's see how I roll on that. It might take some time to get published. Yeah, so for now, that's what is going on with me.
Brilliant. So you are actually the rising star and also a young researcher. So now, today is our expert guest will talk about the self-development and its importance. So now, Faiza, I have one question to you, that self-development is a lifelong process, and it's a way for people to access their skills and qualities, consider their aims in life, and set goals in order to realize and maximize their potential. What is your perception on this concept, and why mass level needs self development in their life? So, what's your perception? Please, you can share with us.
Thank you very much. This is a wonderful question, especially when it comes to a self-development. So definitely, I will give you a little bit of background. The book I launched a couple of years back, Hidden Pearls Bits of You, and this book was unveiled and published by our Honorable Education Minister, Dr. Dipumuni, and all the our almost 10 to 12 parliament member and ambassadors and all the dignitarians, international and local of our country. So the purpose of writing this book is to encourage people into self-development and how you can take that alternative approach in self-mastery, right? Because formal education we need, but sometimes it's not possible to cover all this area and topic in formal education. So therefore, I think it's very vital. So I'm gonna talk little more detail about this. The book I wrote is based on self-realization and the importance of actualization in life, reflecting everything to all the aspects of life for the quest for meaning, to the self-mastery. Because sometimes things need to be understood from the root, from the beneath. That's what I personally believe. So I emphasize on that and its importance in personal and social unrest in the mind. To eliminate this unrest, every individual must take the significance of harmonized, peaceful world to live with one another in love. Therefore, developing the best version of yourself and self-development is the prime responsibility for individual. Though I'm not an expert on this or a scientist, but whatever I wrote through my life and my journey and my own understanding, so I'm gonna describe it little more details. And this idea to motivate for self mastery from personal experience to become the self master, what it requires, what sort of understanding is mandatory to be the best version of yourself from all the essential aspects of life. To self-development is part of so many things. It's more than one subject. So this area is so big and huge. So you have to be very honest and patient to go through this journey. That's what I think and I believe. And the whole purpose is to becoming more of you instead of becoming like somebody else or more than somebody else. And the art of my do you want to say something?
No, it's okay, please.
Okay. And the art of my inner mind led me to questioning things in life. I think questioning the right question is the great source of, digging deeper and looking for unknown answers for yourself. So you have to develop those sort of qualities and skills in your mind for that self-development in the first place. And a human life and its essence, I think it's more than one dimension. So there are more than one dimensions. It will require so many other aspects, definitely. I cannot think of something only from the surface and one perspective. My mind always requires other perspectives to assess on something, to optimize and absolute best for all. We need to understand life and its perspective under 180-degree rule to perceive meaning, depth, and profoundness in our life to achieve 360-degree solution. At some point in life, self-realization and self-actualization made it very crystal clear there is more in life than we know and understand about life. According to my ability of understanding, is not about single thing in life. In my theory, if oneself wants to reach his or her higher state of mind in life, they need to include all the aspects of life. And for that, you have to gain knowledge. And to gain knowledge, you need to search for it, from source for it from everywhere, friend, family, anybody you could reach possibly. So sourcing knowledge to obtain inner wisdom is the vital part for self-development, and it's very important, as you can see. One must in life, there is nothing can give you the pleasure but the higher state of mind, a mind of wisdom. I mean, you'll feel that core confidence once you achieve that. And after that, I would like to address perception on self-development. Is there no other alternative? I think this is the only way and one way thing that you need to take responsibility for your professional, personal, social, any sort of well-being. And for self-development, and why it's really important, because the way SDG and every field we are working, you will see what it's looking for. It's basically looking for sustainability. So very simple question you need to ask: if you don't have all the aspects of yourself to understand yourself, and if you are not sustainable, how you will contribute into a sustainable journey for the society, for the nation. So yeah, I think that's how I see self-development, and it's important for everyone.
Thank you so much for your deep thought about this concept. And yes, I am actually just with you that yes, each of your perception actually related with self-development, and it's necessary for the development or the needs of the mass level development needs. So now I'm just want to know about that in the Abraham Maslow's in 1970 suggested that all individuals have inbuilt the needs for personal development, which occur through a process called self actualization. And it refers to that the needs the potential as a unique human being. So, how can you relate this thing with Sustainable Development Goal Vision 2030? Please.
Thank you very much. It's a very deep and meaningful question for this current situation and moment we all are going through about SDG. And it relates the way Abraham addressed this, it relates to SDG all the way. On that note, I see life and what I think to be bettering ourselves more than yesterday is prime. It's important for every individual to be rich in mind by educating the mind and for the better understanding of all the essence of your life, anywhere, any field you are. I believe everyone wants to have peace of mind, and the fact of today's life, if you notice that we have a very busy, hectic, and rush, hyper mindset in everyday routine, right? So I think we need to take it in our concern and cut those things and bring peace within ourselves. And which I see and witness from those connected for our today's life. And I think people need to take care of their mind, and they first to achieve something in their life and to understand the purpose of their life along with the purpose of having life. It sounds a bit complex though, but once you develop critical thinking skills and deeper thinking mechanism and capable of asking the right question in order to bring in that awareness, it will help you to wake up in your senses, where you will find your true self. You will know you what the self-development purpose is: to knock your mind door, to wake you up, to extract your own wisdom, which is your mind. And you are the one to analyze the power of you, which is your unique power, which is your hidden pearls within you. So no one is you, and you are not someone else. And understand the difference between that, that the fundamental understanding and the fine line is to you have to use your all the senses, because if you see, we have six senses, right? So those six senses has its different part and different purpose to function. So I think we all need to have a understanding and fundamental knowledge of neuroscience to understand our conscious state, subconscious state, and our unconscious state of mind, and how they basically perform in our everyday routine. And when we talk about the
Thank you
self-development,
so
and it's
much.
important.
You have actually yes, deeper knowledge about SDG, and yes, we understand. And now in these moments, are lots of guests actually related, connected with us all around the world, from Georgia, from Malaysia, from Bangladesh. So yes, the dear viewers, with us we have Mehjabin Prodhan Faiza, our today's guest, and she is the expert. And now today she actually describing about the self development and its importance. So now, Faiza, I just want to ask you one question: that how can you relate with self development, self motivation, and self empowerment in the same frame, and why it is necessary for human being?
Wow, that's a beautiful question. A very beautiful question. Well, let me put it in a little more easy way. Our mind is the center of our brain, right? And all decisions are transmitted through the billions of neurons firing, and they're firing per second. The number is huge, I mean, incredible. However, our brain is a hotbed of electrochemical activity all the time, and it never sleeps, never stop. It's about 100 billion neurons are each firing of 5 to 50 messages in action mode. So understand how quick and how fast they are firing those informations per second in our mind. This activity allows you to process your environment, move your muscles, and even keep your balance. And we have variety of neurons. Let me talk about one specific neurons, which is mirror neurons, where our emotions and its experience. As it turns out, our mirror neurons fire when experience and emotions, and similarly when we see others' experiences and emotions, such as happiness, fear, anger, or sadness. When we see someone being sad, for example, our mirror neurons basically fire, and that allows us to experience the same sort of emotions, which made us to be empathetic towards each other. And observing things, you basically learn by observing. You will see, when children are learning or going through something new, we always suggest them focus and observe. So that's how all the neurons and different purpose they are firing and sourcing all this information for us. And those brain chemicals, they play a vital role to amplify on those certain action that we decided to do: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and there are a few more. These are the mainly common chemicals that our brain holds. This is another big area for self-development. To understand anything you put your focus on your mind, you manifest them into your life. Same way, if you contradict your mind and thinking process, you confuse your brain also not to act on that, or to stay confused, not to. And sorry for this inconvenience. And developing yourself, development and those is. Oof. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are. Please.
I'm sorry, I was getting call in the phone. Okay, so the other things that we need to work on, that we can rewire our brain to change our thought process in order to occupy our mind and our daily life with new habits. So it might not be so easy in the beginning. So you need to start with the small changes and bring it in your practice, everyday routine. Gradually you develop and feed your mind for that new changes. And another point here is very important, that you see when you talk about motivation. Motivation is nothing if you fail to work on your free will. When you wake up from your bed, what is the first thing we do? We go for to brush our teeth, or the first thing to go use the washroom, right? Get fresh. But if you plan a day earlier, or few days back that you will be going for gym or you will do something healthy in the morning, go for a walk. Have you noticed that it become very difficult for people to act on right away? They find an excuse. Your body, because the thing is, your body is not aware of that decision. Your mind took it's faster, and body it takes time. So that's why motivation will only work if you can take the advantage of your free will and go for it. Another main point here I'd like to address. Um, w- just a second. Our brain is faster to think, but body takes time, as I mentioned earlier, to get into this. So you need to find a way to comfort your body, to support your thoughts, and it's required intentions to be clear and focus and positive affirmation of self motivation to feed your mind. So practice is important for any good changes to initiate and invite in your life. So these good, positive, encouraging words are to help your mind to stay focused. And another big thing that we need to understand, which is about neuroscience, that our DNA, human DNA itself, is a very complex matter. They have a defensive mechanism itself. So if you have learned something from childhood or from your parents or from the environment, you will see without being aware of something, you will talk or you will act on that, because it's a very old practice. But when you try to inject new thing, you always go through some sort of confusion and to escape. So yeah, that's why understanding neuroscience is very important, and all these motivation, motivation, self awareness, empowerment, they work in the same frame, because these are this stage, one after another. So when you combine all of them, then actually you get the full frame of self development work.
Fantastic. You have such a deep, understandable knowledge about this. And yes, I totally cleared on your concept. Yes, it is necessary for us because without motivation, sometimes it's not possible for us to carry on our life. So we are almost into our shows. Just I want to ask you that Mehjabin Prodhan Faiza is a name associated with many activities, like she is an entrepreneur, author, social wellness thinker, speaker, columnist, administrator, etc. So, who is your inspiration in your life? And we want to know more about your childhood, your education, and about your family, please.
Thank you very much. Absolutely a beautiful question to answer. But if I plainly answer that I'm associated with so many things, I think the self development is all about knowing your true self. Uh, when I was kid, I used to question, who am I? What am I? Just I'm a daughter of my father. I just go to school. I do this. Is this me only? No, this is not me only. Then I discovered that having only one passion, it's not you. Once you identify and realize that you have all these weaknesses, you have all these strengths, and it has to come from your mind. It's not something you can plan. So I think my mind is very curious. I When you talk about educating the mind, formal education is a very different thing. So everyone will go to school, everyone will go to college. That's a very different thing. But for me, it's not enough. I think along with formal education, educating the mind is very important. So therefore, I think because of my curious mind, I always try to explore in a different field, and I want to challenge my ability. I want to see, I want to unleash and uncover my true potential. What else is in me? Yet I'm into this journey, so I think in time I will discover something else new. But okay, let me share a little bit about my family. Mm, my family, relatives, and mostly my parents, both the parents side, all are like engineer or doctor or academic career. So only my parents are into business. And if I talk about a little bit of my parents' family background, okay. Um, my mamas are very, my both the eldest mama was freedom fighter on 71 and commander, and they all pursue their education from Dhaka University, and they hold double PhD from England. So sadly, couple of years back, we lost them. They're no more with us. And my dad's eldest mama, Abdul Salam, was the founder of Dhaka Wasa and the chairman, chief engineer of public health of Bangladesh, and also the chairman of DIT. And my Choto Nanu was like chief engineer of Wasa. His name is Shirajul Islam. And another was Abdul Awal, railway engineer. And another relatives is Samsul Haq, Roads and High, Chief Engineer, Chittagong Division. And my dad's Kala, she's the only one who pursued her higher education in music and fine arts from Shantiniketan and England. And she did her PhD on Rabindra Sangeet and Nozrul Giti as well. And she was the first Bangladesh radio registered singer, and her name is Jahanara Neshi. And all my cousins, brothers, they all are engineer or doctor mostly. So that's the background. But in my family, I think due to my parents, we also went little bit off track. And another interesting thing I would like to say about my grandparents, that they were very much, interested in fine arts, art, poetry, writing, theater, music, sports. And another part I would like to share here, I think everyone doesn't know. At the age of 14, I started my first business. So my parents supported me. So I always used to think different and off track. I never wanted to do the way our system and society has fitted our mind that, that it will do. So I experienced a lot from practical life, and I think that's the best way to educate your mind. And I could not think about anything the way it shows or fixed rule system. I think we have the power of our mind, so we need to take it in our way and do it in our way. And another point I'd like to share here. Mm. Um, Okay, I'll just escape to that. However, I graduated in major in business and marketing. Then I did my diploma in filmmaking, then screenwriting, screenplay writing, and I did certification course on organic cosmetic formulation from UK. Then I did my single major, another area of it's like only the spa product, but it has to be with. Um, Ancient methods, like where you will not use any chemicals. So it's a long process and hard also, but I find it very interesting to know and understand the beautification. Beauty is pure science, so it always inspires me. And last year I did my public and business leadership credential course from Harvard. And now I'm doing another course under Harvard is rhetoric, which is 500 and 300 years old methods, principles of writing and speaking for public and political or any kind of leadership field. So yeah. And another interesting thing, I have interest in fashion also. So I enrolled in 22 in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles Fashion School. That was the time I was about to go, and the COVID happened. So I had to put it in hold. So I don't know, maybe after 2 or 3 years, I might get into that. Other than right now I'm very curious about artificial intelligence, so I have interest to take any course, short or 1 year, I don't know, but that's what I have in my mind. Other than, I think, yeah, I love to explore. I'm open to all kind of opportunities to learn and evaluate all those knowledge and convert them into my power, and share with others. That's the whole purpose. So yeah, that I know I sound a bit weird that if you see the educational and studying background, it's all are different than another area. So I think I just want to know everything. I have craving for it.
Okay, so it's a huge background, and also you have a huge knowledge because you are actually knowledge discover person. So you always discovering knowledge from different areas and different sides of education and fashion. So it's amazing and wonderful. Yes, and I am also proud of you that yes, you are doing a great and you actually represent Bangladesh in different countries in this world. So we are actually feeling proud of you and also feeling proud of your family also. So now we are almost into our show. Just a little bit. We have very short time. You just give your power message to our viewers, please.
My powerful message will be for our beautiful viewers is to believe in yourself, be always open to learn new things. Learning is a lifelong process and it never ends. And trust me, you'll never regret. Be open minded. It doesn't mean you cannot be choosy or selective, but if you can be open minded, it will help you to give you the insight of everything, and which is more powerful than formal education, even its integrity, develop profoundness, depth, and understanding, empathy for one another. It's very important. And apart from, I think, first, it's never late to transform yourself. See, God created us with beautiful, powerful mind, and if we want, we can change it. We can put it in a better use for ourselves. And the purpose of self-development is if every individual is so full of wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and they know what to do, how to behave, how to interact with one another, into the community, into the society, into the world. Lot of and all the SDGs that we are working on, talking about, it will become so easier for all of us to go for the action, take the action. And anything, do not try to do anything to fit into the system, because you are different, I am different. Problem with people, I think that sometimes we see people suffer from depression and all, right? It comes from our society, our surroundings as well, because we create a certain system that someone has to have all these things or have to be like this, then I'll give respect, then I will become friend. I think we need to get rid of this sort of mindset, accept everyone, respect everyone, love everyone. It's very important. And do not have jealousy, do not get into gossip. These are the main thing if you really want to focus on self development, and it helps. So get good sleep, exercise is very important, do not miss it, eat good, sleep good, and think. Keep on questioning your mind, and you can visualize things, anything you like, anything is positive, good. And positive affirmation is very important, because whenever we talk, you will see, without knowing, we speak negative about ourselves or somebody else. So the word has its power, because I believe in a divine power of the universe. I will not be able to sit and talk and do all these things without the influence of the universe. As we are on planet, we have life. You see, if there is no sun, if there is no ray of sun, there will be no life on earth. So you need to understand everything is connected, everything is interconnected. So we are part of universe and we are influenced by the divine power of our God and creator. We have to believe in all those things. At the same time, God gave us a miracle, powerful mind, and we can make a good use of it by knowing the fine line of human capacity and divine capacity. So yes, I think these are gonna be my strong message and advice for everyone. Love yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. You are actually saying that positivity and the ray of the sun, the ray of the hope, and with a beautiful mind, you can capture everything in your life. So I think yes, positivity is very much necessary for us. So thank you so much, Faiza, being with us as a guest, as a expert guest for this show 1200 second, and from IPRH I'm giving you the thanks, and we hope that in future you will again in our another show you can again join with us and being as expert guest with us. So thank you so much for being with us. So hello, dear viewers. Today with us, our expert, that Mehjabin Prodhan Faiza. She is wonderful, and yes, she expressed her feelings, her perception on this show. So I hope that each and everyone will be benefited from her speech. And yes, you are be happy with this concept, be motivated. Self development is very much important for you. So yeah, always be with us, and to follow our website page, our Facebook page, and also follow our YouTube channel, because without your love, IPRS is nothing. So be healthy, be happy, and see you next time very soon. Allah Hafiz.